All right, week 8 NFL predictions and power rankings. And if anybody told you they had any clue what this season would look like before it started, they're lying to you, especially that only one team remaining would have one loss. Everybody else has more than one loss. Okay, 1.5 losses. Packers fans, we only have one loss. Boo hoo hoo, Packer tears all the time with their justifying. You lost to the Cowboys. That tie is definitely a loss. But the Colts of all teams, if you would have expected the Colts to be sitting at 6-1 and nobody else to have 6 wins and 1 loss, 5 wins and 1 loss, you would have been called a liar. Nobody would have believed you. But there they are. There's the Colts. All right, so got the Colts at 6-1. I pulled up the wrong pointer, didn't I? We got to get the bear down pointer. Whoa, it's huge. Never mind. All right, 6-1, 5-2. You see 8 teams now in the AFC with a winning record, 4-3 or better. But in the NFC, you've got all the way down 12 teams with 3-3 or better. So things looking pretty intense over there in the NFC. As you know, for my predictions video, I always do 7 from the AFC, 7 from the NFC, even if it doesn't seem fair, even if there should be 9 from the NFC and 5 from the AFC. That's not what I'm going to do because that's not how the playoffs will look. So we roll through with 7 on 7, and that's just the way it is. Take me off. And this week we have the Bears knocking on the door right there at 15 on the verge. I know the Vikings beat the Bears, but that was really a fluke at the end of the game. Vikings are going downhill. Bears are going uphill. I don't have a bad feeling whatsoever about that. Falcons not looking bad. Cowboys looking better and better if they can get their defense under control. The offense looks phenomenal. Commanders going the wrong way, and now Jaden Daniels has been announced out for Monday night's game. The Ravens, though, might be heading the other direction. This is going to be a big matchup between the Ravens and the Bears this week with not quite decided yet. Lamar Jackson, some reports say he's going, some say he's not going. It'll be clear by the end of the week. The Bears, Ben Johnson has said he's going to prepare for the Ravens like they are going with Lamar Jackson. The Jets holding down the very bottom spot, and I feel like these are pretty solid down here for your bottom spots. Jets, Titans, Dolphins, Raiders, Saints. You could probably flip-flop those two if you wanted to, but the Giants showing, a little bit of like they could be improving, but these guys on the bottom need to make some big moves to be going up. In the top 14, we got the Chargers still holding down number 14. Steelers at number 13, the Broncos at 12, the Pukers, the Packers at number 11, the Chiefs at number 10, the Seahawks at 9, Rams 8, Patriots 7, Buccaneers 6, Bills 5, Eagles 4, Niners 3, Lions 2, and yes, I made it bold. They've earned it so far. Their defense is top 10. Their offense is top 10. In fact, their offense is almost best in the league. The Colts are my number 1 team right now for this point, week 8 in the power rankings. But as I said, power rankings don't mean a whole lot of bupkis right now because nobody has a clue who's good. So many teams with 2 losses, so many teams with 3 losses. A couple at the bottom are showing where they belong. But other than that, the teams at the top, there's still a lot of sorting out to do. Last week, though, pretty good on my part. 12-2 for the week. The only ones I got wrong were I always make myself make 4 upset picks of the week. I got 2 of those right. I got the Colts and the Cowboys. Dolphins and Jets I got wrong. This week, there's more buys, so I won't require myself to do as many. I'll do 3 upset picks instead of 4. But I always do 3 or 4 upset picks depending on how many buys there are. The Bears are at 4-2. On this season, I'm 66.4%, which is right around where I want to hover. I said I want to be around between 67 and 70%. It's, 2/3, so 66.6%. This week's bye week's got to take me out for this. We got the Jaguars, you got the Rams, you got the Lions, you got the Raiders, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks for your buys. So a lot of NFC West teams on by everyone but the Niners this week. So an opportunity for the Niners to go up or down. So we'll get right into the week 8 predictions. Starting off with our Thursday night football game. We got the Vikings at the Chargers, 6.5-point spread. I think this is going to be a closer game than people might realize, but I do have the Chargers pulling this one off at home, 24-20. We'll see how their ground attack is. They're still without Marion Hampton, but they should be fine. Jets at Bengals, this shouldn't even be close. If I were betting this week, I would pick the spread on this one. The Bengals look really good with Joe Flacco, and I think they're going to be fine on offense if their offensive line can hold up. The offensive line looks really good. Bears at Ravens. Why are we showing the teams last? I don't know, Adam. I do got the Bears pulling the upset up here, 30-26. This is dependent on Lamar Jackson. Screw it. It's not dependent on Lamar Jackson. Bears are going to be on a roll. They're going to come out with defense flying. 4 takeaways a game lately. The Bears are going to be just fine. Falcons, Dolphins. Falcons are going to handle this one easily. I don't like betting the spread on this one. Those are big spreads, but I do have the Falcons at home beating the Dolphins. That's a tougher one than people might think, though. Bills at Panthers. I got the Bills going into Carolina and handling the Panthers just fine. I don't think there's going to be any issue there. The Panthers have been a team that have shown, I mean, this is what we're talking about with a sporadic season. The Panthers have a winning record, but they're up and down all year. You got the Niners. We got Houston. I got the Niners going into Houston and picking the upset. I don't know how the Texans are favored right now in that game, but maybe because the Niners are so injured, but they've been winning injured all year. This is one I think will be closer than people realize. The Browns and Patriots. Browns have been playing good teams close all year. I think this is another case of that. I think the Patriots pulled off, but I wouldn't bet on that spread at all. Giants, Eagles. I think the Eagles handle the Giants just fine. The Giants have showed flashes, bursts of being good. I just don't think they're consistent enough, and the Eagles are basically the model of consistency. They find a way to pull off tough ones too. Eagles are on a little bit of a down streak right now, but I think they'll be fine. Buccaneers, Saints at New Orleans. That's why I think it's so close. Some injuries for the Buccaneers too, but they're so deep at wide receiver. I'm not even worried about that. So I got the Buccaneers handling that one easy. This is going to be a close one to me. Broncos, Cowboys. Can the Cowboys overcome the Broncos defense? I think it's going to be a push and pull match. I think the Broncos pull it out because they're at home, but I think that will be a close one. Colts, Titans, this one won't be close. This should be the blowout of the week. I got it right at where the spread is, 14 points, but that's a huge spread to try to cover 14 points. So I don't know if you're using a multi-parlay, I guess use that one in there. I got the upset right here. Old man Rodgers facing Jordan Love, who's not nearly as good as Aaron Rodgers. Steelers at home. I've got the Steelers pulling the upset here, and it might even come down to a last-second field goal in that game as well. You got the Monday night game. You got the Chiefs. You got the Commanders. I think the Chiefs handle them easy. Even if they had Jaden Daniels, I think the Chiefs would handle the Commanders fairly easy in that one. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, the record this so far, 71-36 on the season. My upset picks this week, Bears, Niners, Steelers. Doesn't seem like that difficult of upset picks, but the Steelers over the Packers will be one of the highlighted games of the week. Obviously, you know, the Sunday night football game of the week. And old man Rodgers going to try to get his old team one last time. And you know what? For once, I'm pulling for Aaron Rodgers. So let's have him lay the smack down on those pukers and put them where they belong, not at the top of the division. NFC North, toughest division in football right now. Every team is looking really solid, except the Vikings at quarterback. Might have some things to work out, but with Kevin O'Connell heading the way there as coach, I wouldn't be too worried about him. They just got to sort some things out. But all four teams in the NFC North looking really, really solid. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. This is a Bear-centric channel. So until next time, da Bears and bear down.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.
Go Bears. Let's go for 5 in a row, baby. 5 in a row.